Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Sonic Genesis of fighting games. This is Mortal Kombat Advance for, well, the Game Boy Advance. It's a port of Mortal Kombat 2, and that's all I know.
Wait, actually, it's Mortal Kombat 3.
It was 2.
This is clearly the Mortal Kombat 3 menu and font.
Yeah, because basically my experiences with Mortal Kombat start and stop with this version.
It's okay, because either me or Teo will do the arcade collection on PS3.
Yeah.
I call it the Sonic Genesis of fighting games because it's a shit port.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got, let's see, the cast Rain, Reptile. The cast is right enough, so good.
Personally, my favorite Mortal Kombat game is still Mortal Kombat Trilogy on the PS1. That's still, like, it's so good to have all that content from the first 3 games in all in one package.
When it comes to the classic, that's definitely the one to go. However, honestly, I'm really enjoying the new games that Ed Boon has brought.
Yeah. Here's the first problem: the frame rate is shit.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean, you think with the Game Boy Advance being basically a handheld Super Nintendo, this wouldn't be an issue.
Just to clarify, Namco Bandai managed to make a great port of Tekken 3 that actually worked pretty well on the Game Boy Advance. So I guess Midway in this case couldn't do that justice.
Yeah, this port was developed by some group named Virtue.
Basically, this was just thrown out there for the sake of, cashing in on the star fighting audience of the Game Boy Advance. Not just that, Teo. Game Boy Advance had fucking Rayman on it. So.
Another problem this port has is that depending on the difficulty you select, the AI is either so broken that you'll never have a chance of beating it, or it just does absolutely jack shit,
so
and you can just
actually, that's kind of how it is. See, the thing is, Dwibs, fortunately, Mortal Kombat 3 improved the AI, but one of the big problems with Mortal Kombat 2, and why I don't think it's the masterpiece that fans make it out to be, the AI in Mortal Kombat 2 is fucking bullshit. It basically reacts to everything you do. Literally.
I know, but does that version have you? But does that one on the easiest setting have the AI do virtually nothing?
Well, the thing is, Dwibs, nowadays the ones that are available are the original arcade version, so there's no difficulty setting.
Yeah.
It could have been worse. It could have been a Super Nintendo port.
I really hope at some point NetherRealm Studios makes a PS4 version of the arcade, because the arcade collection, while good, it does have some emulation issues that really need fixing.
The only positive thing I can say about this is that the not the music, the sound is okay by Game Boy Advance standards.
Yeah, it seems fine.
But I mean, the sprite work. I mean, they ripped the sprites off the original MK3.
Digitized actor, yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't really look all that great on Game Boy Advance, and the backgrounds look really pixelated.
Yeah. It's like that Batman game. I forgot what it was called. I think it's Batman Forever. But it's similar to Mortal Kombat, but has terrible background.
Yeah.
There we go.
Also, any particular reason why you selected Shen Song,
Because his name sounded cool.
Supposedly.
Remember, my experience with fighting games, let alone Mortal Kombat, is practically zero.
Dwibs, do you manage to pull a fatality
in
this part?
That's another problem. Because of the lack of buttons the Game Boy Advance has compared to a Super Nintendo or a Mega Drive, it's really hard to pull off combos.
Yeah.
That's no excuse, really. Godzilla had a GBA.
Not just that, Mortal Kombat was never much into combos until later titles.
Here's the thing, though, Joe.
You only just have a instead of having high, low kick and high punch, low punch, you just have kick and punch.
Dwibs said when we commented on Godzilla Domination. See Mortal Kombat Advance, you can do a fighting game with just more than just a punch and kick.
Well, the thing is,
GBA's,
there's a difference though, Jova. The thing is, that game was made specifically for the Game Boy Advance. This
is just a port.
This is a port of a game that was made with more buttons in mind. You know,
it's like those Killer Instinct Game Boy ports.
It's like imagine if you try. Okay, let me think of a game that uses a lot of buttons.
Street Fighter 2.
Yeah, imagine trying to port Street Fighter 2 into the Game Boy Advance.
He actually had a Game Boy Color port.
Yeah, and it sucked.
It depends though, because like, well, back in the day, Mortal Kombat didn't really have that complex a fighting system. They very well could have ported a proper fighting system, even with GBA porting in mind. Now, maybe it's just like the later Mortal Kombat games, I'd see where you're coming from, but here, they should have been able to work with what the GBA had to offer.
Well, the thing is, Jova, let's think about this for a moment.
What was that to you?
Go ahead, Pedro.
A classic Mortal Kombat game needs 4 buttons, 4 core buttons, 1 for low punch, 1 for low kick, 1 for high kick, and 1 for, well, you know, basically 4 buttons, 2 for kicks and 2 for punches. It also needs another button to run and another button to block. Meaning, okay.
Well, that's the thing. They could have used up B for like low kicking or B for regular kicking, and you know, so on and so forth. And they could have used left and right for running, left for blocking, or heck, they could have even used the corner buttons.
Well, the problem is, Jova, is that that theory could have worked, but the problem is that there are special moves that already require you to press up and plus B and stuff like that. So it's just too much. Porting Mortal Kombat into NBA is just a fucking bad idea in general.
Then they could have made it up plus B and A. There's no excuse for the porting job here, really.
So
honestly, Jova, that prospect for a control scheme is convoluted, if you ask me.
That's what fighting games are, actually.
True, yeah, that's what fighting games are.
I mean, not necessarily always a good thing, but that's a fact, that's what they are.
I was just going to ask Shuri, what do you make of this in terms of anything,
Doesn't seem as fun as a lot of other fighting games I've played or seen, honestly. And then
trust me, Shiro, normal Mortal Kombat fighting games are actually much more fun than this.
Yeah, no, by bad force and such, yeah. But,
I've heard?
Really, it's hard to talk about fighting games, because I kind of just play them and let that be that, basically.
Because basically, I've heard a lot of people's contention for, like, worst Mortal Kombat game. If it isn't this one, is that one that was made before the NetherRealm thing?
Armageddon. What's the name? Oh, I forgot.
I thought it was Armageddon.
Yeah, Armageddon, the one that basically combined every single fighter.
Oh boy, now it's time to fight Motaro. Motaro is a fucking OP Zell character.
Take a wild guess why.
What?
Not only he has the advantage of being bulky, big, and having all these limbs, but he can teleport, because fuck you.
And his attacks deal a lot of damage.
He can teleport from screen side to screen side.
Fortunately, apparently the AI in this port is so terrible that Dwibs is doing it fine.
I think he said that on easy.
Yeah, I said it on easiest.
And it's strange, usually Mortal Kombat games have a tendency, in true Ed Boon fashion, to troll you by, in case you select the easy mode, by doing something incredibly stupid or mocking you directly.
But no,
this one seems to be legit.
So it's the easiest mode on Heroes and do practically zilch.
Or...
There we go.
a generic stock sound effect.
Well, to be fair, weren't they like, aren't these the same things?
Yeah, they are.
Also, for some reason, I mentioned the sound earlier.
But are actually really fun to listen, like Raiden's. Go ahead,
I love how for some reason, even though Dwibs got damage up until that point, there's a blue spot there.
I mentioned the sound earlier, but for some reason, whenever you jump, no matter what gender character you are, they sound the sound that the character makes when he jumps sounds feminine.
Go ahead, Pedro.
I mean, was Shang Tsung ever a girl at one point?
No.
He's a shapeshifter, so potentially can.
Well, yeah, technically, but he's always eventually returns back to his real form.
His real form is the one of this old guy.
Well, in this particular game, he's actually a bit younger, thanks to what Shotgun did.
Let's see how cheap he can be in this port.
Ah.
Yep, nothing's changed.
Yeah, that's Shao Kahn, alright.
Could you imagine if I played this on hardest mode?
Basically, Shao Kahn is the Western version of your typical SNK boss. What's an SNK boss? He's one of those fighting game end bosses that does everything in its power to cheat in a very spectacularly fashioned way.
And yet, for some reason, my health's regenerating sometimes.
Because maybe it's easy mode.
No, it wasn't like this in the other fights.
Maybe it's because it's a final boss or something, I don't know.
Actually,
I haven't played this version.
Actually, I think I saw your health regenerate on a few of the other fights. I mean, maybe not as much because you didn't
I don't remember picking up any items.
How about Dwibs beat him down?
Get up for a second and then just plummet down.
He just gave up.
Alright, second round, go ahead, Dwibs.
I love how it's a flawless victory even though Dwibs got hit a lot.
Me thinks there was some kind of glitch.
Me thinks this port wasn't coded properly.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, wait. Maybe your health's just coming back because of a glitch, actually, since the bar looks a bit glitched.
Yeah, it does. I was trying to put it out earlier.
I wonder how long they took on this port.
Probably was coded. It possibly was coded over the course of a day.
Keep in mind, if I recall, this was made in the time where Midway was not being in a good state. Like we already
it was released in
not really good games like Mythology Sub-Zero.
It was released in 2001.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, fortunately, right after that, the Alliance came out.
It's even ranked as flat out one of the worst games on the GBA.
Mm-hmm.
I don't blame him.
I mean, I'll say it's better than Sonic Genesis on the count that not everything hurts.
Oh yeah, that's right. And at the end, Shao Kahn explodes.
When Shao Kahn
oh come on, we don't even get to see him explode.
Granted new powers, he soon discovers his Dark Emperor's true plan as Sung turns on his master, he captures Matara off his guard and defeats Shao Kahn, but before the Earth can return to normal, Sung takes all the souls as his own. He will forever rule Earth with his own brand of evil.
Congratulations.
And that's it, game over.
Earth is doomed because of Dwibs, congratulations.
Yeah, it was anyway.
We blame you.
Yeah, again, it was written in the stars.
My phone was
guy
to
from
be as
England
quickest as possible. What a terrible port. Yeah, go play the original Mortal Kombat games. They're much more fun. Well, two notwithstanding. So yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
So that was Mortal Kombat Advance.
What Theo said, the end.
This was a terrible port. They had no excuse to not be able to make it work. Just play the original.
Shioi?
Looks like a terrible port, and probably is.
It is. My final thoughts. It sucks. Yeah, the coffee maker, rest in peace, the new coffee maker.
Coffee maker, what?
What?
That poor coffee maker was wasted on this. Whoever this is.
Cue the wasted PA.
Yeah, well,
weird.
Look, guys, I got it. This is why that Virtue Craft lot went under. They spent all the rest of their money on that new coffee maker.
Alright then, see you for whatever next Mortal Kombat game.
Yeah, see you for a better Mortal Kombat game.
See you, everybody.
See ya.
See ya.